first find, guys. About a 2-mile hike in. Very common find, and it was ringing weird because it had that right there next to it, but a big old brass buckle. If I can get it out of the roots here. Holy crap. There we go. Nice. In pretty good shape too, honestly. The tongue is kind of stiff there, but that's a nice good size one. Brass buckle, 100 something years old, from the 1800s. Okay, let's go find something else, guys. On to the next. Alright, here we are at our next find, guys. Simple find. Fairly common. Let me see if I can find it for us here. I just saw it poking out around this. Looks like it's an old wheat scent. Let's see if you can see Lincoln there. There you go. 1919. Very nice. If that's here, at this old site, then you know there's got to be old silver or some Indians flying around too. Alright guys, let's go find something else. Alright, here we are at our next find. Metal detecting hobby never ceases to amaze me. I've been to this site, I think this is my 3rd time. I swear to God, I've hit this old driveway of this site. This cellar hole's right here. The very first time I came here, and I was pretty thorough about it. And I got that 1919 weed about 3 minutes ago. 3 minutes later, I got another coin. Unbelievable. About a 51. I'm gonna guess this is an Indian. It's a regular memorial. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I thought that was going to be an Indian. Oh well, so goes it. Let's find another coin, guys. On to the next. Here we go, guys. Another find here. Very simple. Find a lot of these, as you know in my videos. Old brass buckle, whether that's a belt buckle from a person or a small horse tack buckle, I'm not sure. But it's brass, and I'll take it. It's an old relic from the 1800s. Let's go find some more stuff. On to the next. Well, I decided to come over to this open area here. It's a lot better to swing in. The first area where I found that little buckle, there was just so many logs and branches. I just couldn't get my coil in there that much. I could have cleared all that stuff out, but I was feeling kind of lazy today and didn't want to bust my butt. So I came over to some of this open area side of the yard, and I've got a pretty cool signal in the hole here, guys. It's round, and it's not a coin, but I think it's really cool. I think you'll like it. I think what I've got is a monogram back of a pocket watch, I believe. Maybe not. I'm not exactly sure. I think that's the back of a pocket watch because it's gold and it's got some sort of monogrammed lettering on there. About the size of a rosette, but it's not a rosette because it doesn't have a pin attachment in the back. But I'll clean that up and show you what it is. That's pretty dang cool, though. I will keep that for sure. All right, let's go find some more good stuff, guys. On to the next find. Okay, guys, here we are about 10 minutes later at my next find. Before I go to that, this is very strange. Right up in there, these trees, they are rubbing against one another, and it spooked the living heck out of me. It literally sounds like a charging animal when they rub against one another in the wind. I actually threw my headphones off and looked around real quick because I thought there was a bear or a big deer or moose or something in the woods coming up behind me, because I've been there before many times doing this hobby. But anyway, just the trees, kind of strange. This is a pretty common find and a pretty plain one. I've got some more ornate ones, but got myself an old heel tap or heel plate from an early boot or a shoe. Just a simple 1-pin attachment there, and it's made out of brass, rang up pretty high. So nothing special, but I thought I'd just show you that. One of the many common things you find at a cellar hole. And the cellar hole is right back through the woods, right in there. So anyway, let's go find some better stuff, guys. Come on, let's go to get the next find. All right, guys, about 5 minutes later after that little toe tap, and I've got something in the hole that's really sweet. Let me come here and show you. It's a little bit bent up, but Green Mountain metal detectors. Brad, you'll know what I mean on this one. This is a pretty sweet find. I think you found one of these a couple months ago. It's a frickin' powder flask. Now, at first I thought it was just a piece of tin from the roof, but look at the shape. It's shaped like a horn, and it's kind of bent up on the bottom. And then if you look really closely, if I can put it in the sun here, it's got a design on it. Look at that. That's sick. Now, there's guys out there, I think I told you in my other video, that'll actually straighten this stuff up for you if you pay a few bucks. I'm not sure if any of you guys got a technique on how to straighten up the front of a brass powder flask like that, but that is a freaking really great find. One of my finds of the year. It's not a large set, it's not a piece of old silver, but dang, I'll take that any day. And I'm not even sure what that is on there. Is that a griffin or some sort of strange animal with feet and wings? I do not know. I'll have to straighten that out and see if I can do that. But anyway, freaking awesome find. Powder flask from probably the mid-1800s. Let's go find some better stuff, guys, even though that's probably going to be my find for the day. Awesome. I'll get it cleaned up as best I can. I'll try to show you a cleaned up shot of it. Well, I'm back, guys. It's been quite a while since that powder flask and some of those earlier finds. It's been probably an hour and a half. I've hiked my butt off. And I met a very nice gentleman on the trail. I was trying to find another couple cellar holes, and they were boogers to find. And a nice gentleman and his dog led me way back into the woods off the trail to this place, which is, believe me, it is out of the way and it is old. This is the remains of the cellar hole right here, double chimney. And beautiful old place. There's a barn right up there. It's been hit before, just like all of these places have. I found a little old fuse, and I did finally find something here about 20 minutes after swinging. So let me just show you what I got. Pretty decent find. Look at that. A really old pocket knife. The guy told me this place was abandoned in about 1920 and it was built in about 1850. So Civil War period. So most of the goodies have probably been picked out of here, but you know, you always can find some good stuff lingering if you are patient and you go slow in all the iron. So a nice old pocket knife. I'll clean that up and get you a shot of it. Okay, the sun's getting low. Let's see if we can find a few more things before I head home. Okay, here we're back into the shack, everybody, for the paper towel wrap up, and we'll be really quick on this just to show you what I find. The videos you just saw were actually from 3 different hunts, 2 short hunts, and then the last one where I found some of the better stuff was a little bit of a longer hunt, maybe 4 or 5 hours. You have to work for the goodies. You got to take your time and be patient in all the trash of these cellar holes. But there's good stuff for waiting and lurking for you. Let me just go show you some of the things I didn't film on camera. I've got my little handful of clad there. That's always a common find. Found this little kind of latch pull in one of the barn sites where I was at. I'm not sure what that is. Something that went to something at some point, which I do not know. Lantern wick part, common. Pretty big size bullet, I don't know, 45 caliber, something pretty big there. Piece of lead, another very common find. They came in these sticks like that and people would cut them off and then mold them or heat them up into what they wanted. So they kind of look like pencils when they broke off. That could even be a part of a lead pencil. I'm not even exactly sure. It's about the right diameter, but broken off. I also found these 2 little doodads at that one really old cellar hole I showed you where I found the pocket knife right at the end there. I'm not sure, little leg bases to perhaps a jewelry box or something small. Too small to be a stove or a warmer. Maybe lantern leg parts or something to a little jewelry box or something. But those are interesting and ornate. And then on to the stuff I did show you in the videos. We'll start and go from the more trivial stuff to the best. I did get the toe tap here, which is a common find. It's not as good as some of the toe taps you find. You know, you can find some with the heart shapes on them and stuff like that, and I've been lucky to find a few of those through the years. I got a couple buckles. The first one you saw, I can't remember where I put that. It's somewhere buried in the nerd shack there. There's the little buckle I found on the last hunt. Very common find. Got the old pocket knife here. I didn't clean that up too much. It's made out of wood, and the pins are very small on there. So I'm imagining this is a pretty old pocket knife. The house site was there till 1920. This looks a tiny bit older than that. I want to say turn of the century or something like that. But cool old pocket knife. Very generic sign. And then the last 2 and best finds for sure. This is my pocket watch back. It definitely is a pocket watch. It's got letters and writing on there. And it is gold plated. And it has the initials BD and I believe F. And if you recall with monograms, the middle initial is usually regarded as the last name of the individual, and the last name on this house site did end in a D. So this belonged to either the woman or most likely the man of the household back in the late 1800s, maybe early 1900s. Now on these backs, if you do any research, these were usually made separately from the actual watch itself. So despite the fact that I've got a serial number on there and it says finest quality, good for 10 years, there's no way to really definitively match a maker's mark or a serial number to the actual maker. Those serial numbers were generally just kept for in-house tracking for these independent makers of the backs. But still really a cool item, a gold-plated pocket watch back and can be related back to the owner of the site of that old homestead. So that's a cool find. And then last but not least, this is my one really killer find of the last hunt here. I was able to straighten it out just a little bit. You see how it kind of fractured a little bit? I used very gentle bending techniques with a cloth and just worked on it for about an hour to get it back halfway straight. Again, this is a powder flask from probably the mid-1800s. I'm going to say 1850 to 1870, something like that. The house site was old, and this is an older design. Again, a powder flask that would hold gunpowder to go to an old musket. And you can see the beautiful design on there. Rabbit with some pheasants, and there's some other sort of creature over here, maybe a fox or something, I can't tell. But really cool find, and this is the first one I've ever found like this. And all I did was I straightened it out and I took a little Brillo. It was really corroded, and the Brillo was able to clean that up quite a bit and make it look a little bit more presentable. But that's just an awesome find. 150-year-old find from the mid to late, maybe 1800s. Powder flask of gunpowder. All right, folks, that's it for this wrap up. Hope you enjoyed the short videos of my hunts here, and we'll be back with another hunt for you in a couple of weeks with some more finds to share with you. Until then, happy hunting. This is BTV Digger.